What's going on, guys? It's Ghost here, and today we're going to be playing some Killing Floor 3. So I've been playing a good deal. As you can see, I'm already level 21 on here for my Commando class. I've already gotten the class mastery up a bit. I've basically just kind of been playing through this, and honestly, I've been really enjoying it. A lot of people were kind of saying it's not really a Killing Floor game, and I'm actually here to kind of talk about that. I have a couple of notes here, just like basic bullet points on what I think of the actual game and like the overall gameplay and how it overall feels and just like in comparison to everything. Like this hub for existence, kind of useless. It'd be cool if there were like people working like in the middle, someone was screwing around with that, or like up top. But this place just seems really sterile. It's not all bad. Like it's kind of cool, like getting your friends to load up onto the landing pad. That's a cool little detail. And I'm sure with 6 people in one area, that's why I like the little like individual pods right here. That's cool. With the 6 people walking out and running up here, that look cool visually. But that's pretty much the only time I think it's really like, oh, like that's amazing. That's super cool. But yeah, I'm just gonna run normal because I don't want to have to like lock in too hard. Because that's actually one thing I'll start with. The difficulties feel kind of weirdly scaled, because like when you start off, normal's kind of hits you in the face. Because if you're used to like killing floor 1, which normal isn't that difficult, but hard immediately kicks you down, or just killing floor 2, where normal and hard aren't the most difficult things, it'll absolutely smack you in the face. It's kind of a whiplash, because I thought, oh, let me just start on hard, get my XP boosts up and stuff. But that is not the case. It'll absolutely mess you up. But yeah, basically what's been going on is that I've just been here and grinding this out. Like the difficulty like that I've been trying to grind out was normal, then I went to hard, and I've been mostly playing on hard. And as you can hear, weapons are a little actually no, that has a suppressor on, that doesn't really count, but the actual quality of the gun sounds are just kind of eh. Like some of them sound okay. I know the machine guns sound pretty good from what I've used, or the machine gun, I don't know if there's multiple. Like LMG, I mean. But all I know is that they're a little weaker this time around, and at least in sounds, and it kind of feels a little unsatisfying. I don't know what it is. It's a little unsatisfying, kind of like hitting them and like barely having much like damage output. But I don't know, that could just be a me thing. Like I'm probably just feeling weird about it because I'm not used to it, but I don't know, something about it is a little off. And the as you can see here, I'm getting a lot of red hit markers, but not a lot of kills. That's another complaint I have with this game. The interface, like the UI stuff, like getting red on only crits and not kills. They both share the red, which doesn't make sense to me. At least make it like, I don't know, if you're gonna have hit markers, make it yellow or something. Or like do what Sledgehammer games do, and they put like a double marker on headshots, like a double crossed hit marker instead of just a single lines. But it just feels unsatisfying to constantly hit a bunch of critical spots, like bam, 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 and they're not really getting anywhere with it. It feels really unsatisfying, and that's one of the major dinks against the game that I really just dislike as a whole. One thing I will add on to though is that this game does feel satisfying to play, just like in a vacuum. It's a solid enough game. It still feels like an early access. There's a lot of little bugs and glitches and shit. Like one of the main things is like this. Like if I were to hit this in the middle of getting attacked, I'd probably get stuck here and just get stuck and not be able to get hurt or die, which is really frustrating that has to be like a thing, but it is, and it's incredibly frustrating. But I don't know. It's one of the few things that I really dislike about this game. Another thing I really have a problem with is just kind of like the future everything, like the futuristic sounds of like, I won't say the sounds, I think more the futuristic like designs of the enemies. Like I think the Fleshpound and the Skrakes are a little too future centric, but I actually don't mind the designs that much. They're just, I'm probably just not used to it compared to like Killing Floor 2 and 1. But when it comes to like the actual setting, like these weird like not real guns that are like near future or full future, which is a little strange, then it definitely comes off a little weirder. Because like, I don't know, we have like a fake MP5 called the MP6 because that's how gun numbers work. I mean, I genuinely don't know. I'm not a gun expert. I'm only like very basically versed in like ammo types, and that's about it. But combining like just like all the more modern feeling, like I don't even say modern feeling, I just say like future type guns, they just don't feel that satisfying compared to like some of the punchiness of Killing Floor 1 and 2. And I feel like a lot of it was partially leaking. I feel like it was a gas leak in Killing Floor like 2, because what's it called? Yeah, it was a gas leak in Killing Floor 2, as opposed to like this where it feels like a complete removal of like a lot of the things. Like in that game, the guns shot at much higher frames. I don't know if that's the case here. It might just be because on console I'm locked to 60, but I don't know. They don't feel as satisfying compared to like Killing Floor 2 on either platform. And I know PC has a lot of performance issues, where like, I mean, to be fair, this is an Unreal game, and like I was saying in my Tony Hawk video, Unreal 5 is just developers just do not want to optimize their Unreal 5 games, and I really hate it. And it's like, it's probably one of the worst feelings, because like you'll have a good card or whatever, you'll pour all this money into like a rig, and it can barely crap out like 60 to 80. Sometimes it dips all the way to 20 to 30, and it's like, what a pain. I ran it at like a solid 80, so it was thankfully good for me. But one of the things that I had to remove was the, I guess what's called it's called Lumen, which is just ray tracing, I guess, in this game, with like the RTX reflection type deals or whatever you want to call it. But it was very frustrating, because having to constantly like switch between graphic settings and tweak with that for a bit was really annoying, because the frames were really finicky regardless. And when shit would hit the fan, like things would kind of go crazy, and like there would be a lot of shit on the screen. It would really amount to like a lot of slowdown. And even on here, it gets kind of laggy sometimes. And if you play with more than 2 players, at least for the first week of this game being out, it can tank a bit, which is a little sad. But it also brings me back to my point that this is kind of an early access compared to like a full release, which they're kind of touting it as. They also, my cynical theory is that they added the release date further so they could clean up a couple of things, change some of the settings to like a more dusk or gloomy setting or a night setting. Like the city streets used to be in the day for the beta, which I thought was really weird. But yeah, like little things like that, I'm assuming they were trying to clean up before launch, and then they wanted to just pump it out so they could start getting the microtransaction ball rolling. Which, I mean, hey, that may not be the case, and I may totally just be pulling that out of my ass, but for all I know, you know, modern Tripwire is, I mean, shit, even Tripwire back then, like 10 years ago, were implementing like fucking loot box systems and shit, which is just like, I don't like that kind of crap. I really don't. And like, it's a shame that they are already hyper monetizing this. Like the first day or so that the shop was up, they added a classic Foster, not as an unlockable skin, but as a purchasable skin for like 20 bones, which is kind of fucking crazy that they're already monetizing little things like that, which is very depressing to see. I don't know, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth when like I already paid for the game. I just kind of hate how microtransactions roll like that. And I get like that's how they've done things for a while, but it doesn't mean that my preference is just going to change to it. Like I can kind of accept certain microtransactions, but I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of how that kind of shit is. Alright, on to the next point, because I really dragged out that microtransaction point for a good minute there. But, what is it? The enemies feel a little overtuned for what they are, like I mentioned in the difficulty earlier. Like, the Skrakes, especially, the mini-bosses like Skrakes and, Flesh Pounds feel way more powerful than they should be. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but they feel absolutely horrendous, like, mag dump freaking bullet sponge enemies, and I already played Destiny for years, and that's kind of just how their enemy design is for bosses and mini-bosses. So it kind of feels annoying that we're not really moved past that in like horde shooters or PvE games. It's not that big a deal, like I'll get over it, but it's definitely really annoying having to like I'll be, even on solo, like I'll be multiple mags just chewing through them, and I'll spam my special ability, which is another thing I'll get into later, and they just don't die. It is the most frustrating thing ever. Going back to like the enemy stuff, Like, these ones right here, I'm not very good with names. I only know, like, Bloats, Claws, Scorefasts, Drakes, and Flesh Pounds. I never know that. I call them, like, Fire Dudes, because I'm really fucking boring. I call them Fire Dudes because, like, I'm really fucking boring. But, yeah, that's pretty much, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're called. You can go ahead and torch me in the comment section, I really don't care. I'm gonna have to learn their names one way or another. Or I can just be stubborn and say no. But one thing I like that they changed from the beta was the way that bullet time worked. Like the Z time, I mean, sorry, wow. Fucking oops. The way that Z time works in this game, it used to be like, I think, an activation thing. But they changed that, thankfully. It's no longer that kind of deal, and it feels a lot better that way. It should have just been like how it was before, which I think it's actually, I like the little meter up top. I do like that. It doesn't feel as aimless, and it's just more information to the player, which I think is 90% of the time a good thing. But yeah, that's my main complaints with like Killing Floor 3. My first impressions have been solid. Like, I do love this game and how it feels. It's just not a Killing Floor game per se. Like, it's not a traditional Killing Floor game. It feels like a fan hack of some other game that was Killing Floor. Inspired, I guess. Like, it would be like Shooting Grounds 2 or something. I don't know. It's not even like it's bad. It's just, in its current state, I don't think it's worth 40 bucks. It's a sale game. I'm waiting to get it on PC, and also hoping they add cross progression. Because I started on console because I had a bunch of, like, most of my games recently have been purchased through Xbox credit, through Ultimate Game, like Game Pass Ultimate's like reward system, because I just have a lot saved. But aside from that, I have been trying my best to not spend money on games, like my own money. I mean, like reward money is a whole different story. But essentially, it's been that kind of purchase, and I would have to buy with my own money on Steam. And I'm choosing not to do that, and that's coming from someone who likes to buy multiple copies of games. I know that that's kind of weird. That's like, oh, why would you need more than one, especially if they're like the same thing? But it's a habit I adapted from like playing Minecraft back in the day, and that having little quirks on each version. And also like back then when mobile, I say mobile, I mean more like handheld games like DS and Game Boy had different ports as opposed to like their home console counterparts. But yeah, it's a little habit I picked up from back then when like I wanted to own multiple versions of a game. Not all the time, but some of the time. And mostly just overall, I don't think I'd spend the 40 on this game. I'd think about it if I had more cash for 30. And if it was 20, I'd probably get it with some hesitancy, but I would still get it. Because this game's solid. Like, it's still fun to shoot shit, like, at the end of the day. A little unsatisfying with some of the damage output, but, like, it's still pretty satisfying to just sit here, hold down, you know, W mouse 1 and just fuck shit up. But overall, I do think that there's a lot of work to go when they say that they're gonna fix a lot of the shit. So, I'm kind of just here waiting for when that happens, and, you know, we'll go from there. Though there's like 3 bosses in the game. There's like the Impaler, the Queen Crawler, and I already forgot the other one, which is crazy that my memory's that fried, but it's whatever. But like overall, just the bosses are just okay. I don't really feel like opposed to some of their existences, but I also don't like them that much. Like, I like fighting some of the bosses in the second game. There's a few. The first game only has the Patriarch, which I didn't know until recently, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I like fighting some of the bosses in 2, but overall, I do think that they could be better. Queen Crawler's a little tedious, and I hate fighting Queen Crawler with a team. I mostly tolerate fighting it solo. My favorite one to fight so far, I think, is Impaler. I think that's probably the one that I actually like the most. Also, another weird thing that I might want to add to is the existence of these executions they added. I have a feeling this is going to be monetization bait, because it doesn't feel like oh, this is like Doom, because it doesn't have any reward to it. It's just, oh, it looks cool, and it's like you waste less bullets killing him. That's really it. With Doom, you get like ammo if you use a chainsaw, and you get health typically with every glory kill. But this doesn't feel like that. This just feels like they're gonna make more of the animations in bundles or something in the store, and that's how they're gonna go about it. And I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I'm not necessarily like, oh, that sucks, but I don't particularly like it either. I don't know. I feel like it's a little stupid. I feel like they should be more like unlockable stuff, especially because this game is a little bare bones as is. Like, it does feel a little early access, like I've already spoken a few times about. It's definitely not the best case scenario, but yeah. See, like, you can hear the LMG, and it sounds pretty, like, it sounds like it would shred through shit, which, frankly, it does. It's a great weapon. But, what is it? It's one of the few weapons that I'm like, oh, it sticks out to me. Probably because it's one of the few that I've used the most so far, because I've mostly been leveling Commando almost exclusively. There's been, like, moments where I was like, oh, let me try the Medic, let me try the Berserker, I guess the Ninja class now. Oh yeah, another thing that I completely forgot to mention. If you already know how the first two games play, then you'll understand this, but in the third game, they don't have infinite regen on the heals now. You've noticed I've had to buy syringes, and I've had to heal manually. And on the bottom left, you'll see the little counter for all my syringes. And yeah, that's a thing now. I don't know how I feel about that per se. I think it's a little annoying, but it could totally just be me not being used to the new mechanics again. I don't really know what's what anymore, because I am kind of picky when it comes to certain things. So this might just be like, oh, I already got used to Killing Floor 2. Why the hell do I have to get used to this now? It's not a necessarily bad mechanic, it's just a little odd that they changed what didn't need to be changed. I do like the overall gun crafting though. I don't know if you've noticed, but like, let me destroy this camera. You can see I have like a little icon on the right pop up telling me like what I got from shooting that. If you destroy little bits of tech around the map, you get little moments like that where you can unlock resources. And those resources I use to build like crafting stuff, like the weapon sight that I'm using right now, or like the suppressors on my weapons, or like the different kinds of ammo, things like that. And you use them to do that, and you're supposed to harvest a bunch of them. They're like a side grind, which it feels like the game feel a lot less empty than if it were like the other games, where it's just like the standard like upgrade in the trader type of deal. I don't like that they got rid of the weight system and it's only 2 primaries and a secondary with your base melee now. It's a little weird. I don't even think there's different melees anymore. I think it's just one standard knife. You have the KF bar. But I don't know. It's a weird little thing that they've got going for that. I don't know how I feel about it per se, but oh yeah, boss is down here. Alright, good fucking plays, guys. Hell yeah. Well, that's gonna call it for currently. Wow, I have such a way with words. That's gonna call it a match and a video at that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of my videos and the rest of your day. Leave the thoughts in the comments about what you think about this game, or just, you know, what's on your mind about this, and like what your overall opinions are. Because at least if you from what you've seen and what you've played, if you have. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.